Hello, we have another in the series of Reminiscing with History Makers. Today we're reminiscing with Lynn Ford from the North Carolina chapter. Hi Lynn.
Hi Jackie, how are you?
When did you join Apco?
1974.
And were you in the North Carolina chapter then?
No, I was in the MidEastern chapter. I was living in Maryland. I joined the North Carolina chapter in 1978.
Very good. Please describe at your agency what your position was, your brief responsibilities.
When I first joined Apco in 1974, I was with Maryland State Police, and I originally started as a secretary for the investigative unit. Then I went into the what they call PCO, which is Police Communications Officers, dispatcher, and I transferred to Annapolis Barracks. Then I switched back to Waterloo Barrack and did police dispatching. And we dispatched for Maryland State Police for one county. For Waterloo was the Anne Arundel County. Then I went to Glen Burnie, which was also Anne Arundel County, but a different part of Anne Arundel County. We dispatched all state police units who at that time were investigating accidents as well as crime scenes.
What course in Apco drew you to join the membership?
It wasn't a course, it was my mentor, Helen Rushing, who worked for Maryland State Police Electronic Services. And she felt that because I was interested in communications, that I could learn to advance in my career by joining Apco and learning what Apco had to offer as far as courses and educational opportunities.
Can you describe what your Apco activities were?
In the state chapter, on the local levels, I was active on committees for conferences, participated in regional and state chapter conferences. We did a national conference in 1975 for the Washington, D.C. International Conference. Then, as far as chapter conferences, or chapter activities, I should say, we had various committees that I joined. I moved to North Carolina in 1978 and became active down there. I was active in the regional, the chapter, also the international Apco. We hosted the regional conferences, the state conferences. We hosted an international conference at Charlotte, North Carolina, at Charlotte Motor Speedway, vroom vroom, which was a lot of fun. Everybody had a good time. Became interested in history, and in 1984 we were in California. Became involved with Bob Brooking, Frank Campbell, Chief Bill Keel, and we started talking about the Apco history and how we could keep it going, how we could further the historical interest for the chapters and for Apco International. And I became the Apco historian.
The first Apco historian?
Oh, no, I can't claim that. I had many fine predecessors to that.
Okay. Has your Apco membership had a direct effect on your career personally?
Yes, it has. It allowed me to keep in touch with technical advances in the field of communications. It has allowed me to network with people all around the country and all around the world with different problems they were having and solutions on how to overcome those problems. To refine techniques that you get by networking with people as well as book learning and training classes. I've had the opportunity to attend training classes through Apco that any college class couldn't compare with.
Wow. What do you like most about Apco?
The people, the networking, the opportunity to just learn so much. All you have to do is just ask. And the people that I have been fortunate enough to know through my 40-year history with Apco have always been willing to help, to share their knowledge. If they don't know, they'll tell you who to go to. They've been warm, they've been friendly. It's been like a family to me for 40 years. And I just have gained so much knowledge by them being willing to share.
What do you think Apco does better than anybody else?
Education, networking, the pooling of knowledge to solve a problem, to advance technology so that the best service to the citizens of the world can be given.
What do you think Apco needs to do to move forward?
Not forget where they came from, to always remember that while advancement in technology is wonderful, technology, when it fails, is worthless unless you know how to go back to the original basics to be able to continue. In other words, if your computer fails, if you don't know how to dispatch from a manual card, you can't do your job. So cross-training has to still continue. Even though CAD is wonderful, if you don't know how to dispatch from a card, you can't do your job. So you have to maintain both the good and the bad, the present and the future.
Okay, Lynn, what is your most favorite Apco memory?
The most precious memory to me was when I was granted life membership in 1992. Because I was only a dispatcher, and I had been surrounded throughout my Apco career with the greats in the communications field. Fred Link, I could just sit here for hours and mention people that are history makers in communications. I was a lowly little dispatcher that just loved people and loved Apco, the organization, and they honored me with a life membership for the first female member.
So there was never a female life member before you?
No.
Wow.
I was the first.
That's quite an accomplishment.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for meeting with us today,
Thank you.
Lynn. And I so appreciate learning from you, me personally. You're one